Chosen one, God's warning is for the 1% who can hear it. Listen closely. There are countless voices speaking in the world today, yet most of them drown each other out in a storm of noise, distraction, and confusion. The chosen one is not someone who blends into that storm, but someone who rises above it, who senses the signal hidden within the chaos, who listens when others only hear silence. This warning is not given to everyone because not everyone can carry it. It is reserved for the few who have the strength to bear it, the insight to understand it, and the courage to act upon it. If you are reading these words, there is a reason. It is not chance that brought you here. It is alignment. It is timing. It is the universe arranging circumstances so that you would arrive at this exact moment, prepared to hear what others cannot. Before we continue deeply into this message, I ask you, chosen one, to stay with this video until the very end, not because of me, but because the unfolding of this message has been designed in layers, and each layer builds on the last. By reaching the end, you will see the picture whole rather than in fragments. As you listen, I encourage you to write in the comments your warmest wishes, the purest intentions you can release into the world. Along with those wishes, write the number 66, for this is a number of resonance and completion, a number that carries energy into the unseen. When you write your wishes and the number 66, you are not merely typing words, you are imprinting energy into the current of this universe, and energy responds to intention. This is the chapter of wishes coming true, the moment where your thoughts can crystallize into reality. Because the universe is alive, it listens, and it reflects back what we pour into it. Now let us return to the core of the message. Chosen one, God's warning is for the 1% who can hear it. Listen closely. To hear a warning is not the same as to be afraid. A warning is a gift. It is protection before the storm, insight before the consequence, vision before the fall. Many people drift through life unaware, reacting to events only after they occur. But the chosen one is not called to live that way. You are given eyes to see ahead, ears to hear what is unspoken, and intuition that stirs when danger approaches. The warning that comes now is not meant to paralyze you, but to prepare you, to sharpen you, to awaken every sense within you, so you can navigate what others will not survive. Think for a moment about the times in your life when you felt an inner nudge, an instinct, a whisper that told you something was about to happen. Maybe it was a decision you avoided because you sensed it was wrong. Maybe it was a sudden urge to act, to call someone, to move in a different direction. That was not imagination. It was guidance. And this same guidance now speaks louder than ever before. The world is entering a season where the noise will grow unbearable for the many. Distractions will multiply. False messages will flood every channel, and the majority will be blinded by illusions they cannot escape. But the chosen one, the 1% who can truly hear, will receive clarity within the confusion. You will be able to walk through a maze where others are lost, because the voice that warns you is not external, it is within. The warning, however, is not merely about survival. It is about alignment. It is about being placed in the right position at the right time for a purpose far beyond personal safety. The 1% who hear are not only protected, they are prepared. Prepared to lead, to guide, to hold light when the darkness spreads further than it has ever spread before. There is a responsibility carried by hearing the warning, because to hear and to ignore is more dangerous than to never have heard at all. Once you have received it, you cannot unknow it. You cannot step back into the comfort of ignorance. You must step forward into the weight of truth. And the truth is that change is coming, swift, disruptive, and unstoppable. For many, this change will feel like collapse. Systems they trusted will shake. Structures they depended on will fall apart. Voices of authority will crumble, and the ground beneath their feet will feel unstable. Fear will ripple through communities, through nations, through the minds of people unprepared for uncertainty. But the chosen one will understand that collapse is not only destruction, it is also renewal. What breaks must break so that what is pure can rise. What fails must fail so that what is lasting can be built. This is the pattern of life itself. Seasons end so that new seasons can begin. The warning is not telling you to fear the end of what you know, but to prepare for the beginning of what is greater than what has been. You may feel isolated when you carry this awareness. To be among the 1% who can hear is to walk differently from the 99% who cannot. They will not understand why you act the way you do, why you prepare the way you do, why you say no when they all say yes, or why you say yes when they all say no. They will mock, they will doubt, they will misunderstand. But the chosen one is not called to blend in. The chosen one is called to remain faithful to the voice that warns. You cannot expect validation from the many. Your validation comes from the clarity within you. This clarity is a gift, but it is also a burden. Sometimes you will wish you could not hear it. Sometimes you will wish you could close your eyes and move through life blindly as others do. But deep down, you know you cannot. The warning does not leave you. It stirs you in the night. It nudges you in moments of quiet. It fills your thoughts when everything seems normal on the outside. You know something others do not, and that knowledge carries weight. But understand this: if you were not able to bear it, it would not have been given to you. You were chosen not because it was easy, but because you were capable. As we continue deeper into this message, reflect on the moments where you already felt the hand of warning in your past. Every near miss, every protection, every sudden shift that saved you from harm was not accident. It was a rehearsal for now. The universe, God, the unseen intelligence, however you understand it, has been preparing you for this season. Each lesson, each scar, each revelation was building the capacity in you to be one of the 1%. And now the moment has come. The storm approaches, but you are not unprepared. Do not mistake this warning for doom. It is not here to tell you that all is lost, but that the time for awakening is short. It is here to remind you that the foundation you build now, the clarity you sharpen now, will determine how you stand when the shaking begins. Many will cling to false securities. They will hold on to things that cannot last. They will seek stability in places that were never meant to hold them. And when those things fall, they will fall with them. But you, chosen one, must learn to place your stability in what cannot be shaken. Your inner alignment, your ability to listen, your readiness to move when instructed. The warning is this: distractions will intensify. Noise will grow. Deception will spread. And those who cannot discern truth from illusion will be carried away. Do not be among them. Guard your attention. Guard your energy. Guard your heart. For what you give your attention to shapes the frequency you emit, and the frequency you emit determines the reality you experience. The chosen one is called to rise above the collective trance, to live awake when the world sleeps, to see clearly when the fog blinds the many, to stand firm when fear makes others collapse. This is why you are here. This is why you are listening now. Chosen one. God's warning is for the 1% who can hear it. Listen closely. The deeper you travel into this message, the more you will notice that it begins to echo within you, not merely as words that pass through your ears, but as something that vibrates in your spirit. It is not information alone. It is resonance. It awakens a recognition you already carried, something that has been waiting quietly for the right moment to surface. This is why the 1% can hear and the rest cannot. For most, these words would sound like empty phrases, background noise against the louder distractions they prefer. But for you, the chosen one, every line carries weight. Every sentence triggers something you cannot ignore. You recognize it because you were already prepared to receive it. The warning intensifies in this season. What you must understand is that it comes in layers, and not every layer is revealed at once. If everything were shown to you instantly, it would overwhelm you. The weight would crush rather than empower. That is why you are given portions at a time, fragments that seem incomplete on their own, but together form a path you are meant to follow. Do not grow impatient if you cannot see the full picture immediately. Trust the process of unveiling. Warnings come not as a flood, but as a sequence because timing is as important as content. If you are told something too early, you cannot yet act upon it. If you are told too late, you cannot prepare. But if you are told in rhythm with your journey, you can align perfectly with the unfolding of events. This is why listening closely is more than hearing. It is attuning. You must sharpen your inner ear so that even the faintest whisper does not escape you. The warning rarely shouts. It rarely breaks through with thunder and lightning. Instead, it often comes as the stillness between moments, the sense that something invisible has shifted, the feeling that what looks ordinary is actually layered with significance. The chosen one trains themselves to notice what others dismiss. They observe the subtle signs, the patterns hidden beneath routine, the undercurrent beneath appearances. That is how you will be guided forward while the masses remain blind. Understand this. The world is entering a cycle of great illusions. These illusions will not appear dangerous at first. They will appear safe, convenient, appealing. That is why so many will embrace them without question. They will accept shadows as substance, lies as truth, and facades as reality. The warning is to remain awake, to test everything, to never surrender your discernment for the comfort of ease. For when the illusions shatter, those who built their lives upon them will collapse with them. But you, chosen one, are called to build differently. The 1% who can hear must learn detachment. This does not mean you stop caring about life or people. It means you no longer allow yourself to be enslaved by what is temporary. Everything visible is unstable. It can shift, it can be taken, it can crumble without notice. If you anchor yourself in what is unstable, you will fall. The warning is clear. Anchor yourself in what is unseen, in the inner clarity that cannot be shaken. This is your true foundation. With it, you can walk through chaos with calm, through fire without being consumed, through storms without drowning. Without it, you will be tossed back and forth with no direction. There will be moments when the external world pressures you to conform, to surrender your inner truth for the comfort of belonging. Many will do so. They will silence the warning within them because it makes them different. They will trade clarity for approval, strength for acceptance, authenticity for comfort. But you, chosen one, cannot make that exchange. The cost is too high. Once you silence the warning, once you mute the inner voice, it becomes harder to hear again. And the longer you ignore it, the fainter it grows, until eventually you cannot find it at all. Do not let the world convince you that it is better to be comfortable in blindness than awake in truth. This path is not easy. It is lonely. The 1% who hear must walk through long stretches where it feels like no one else understands. You may feel misunderstood, judged, even rejected. But this too is part of the preparation. The isolation sharpens you. It cuts away dependence on the crowd. It strengthens the bond between you and the guidance within you. And though the journey begins with loneliness, it does not end there. For along the way, you will find others among the 1%, scattered across the world, each carrying a similar flame. When you meet, you will recognize each other without words, because the same resonance burns within. And together, though few, you will form a light that cuts through great darkness. The warning also carries responsibility for your choices. To hear it and remain passive is not enough. Action is demanded, but not reckless action, measured, precise, timely. The chosen one learns to move in rhythm with the warning, not ahead of it, not behind it. If you run ahead, you tire yourself and lose alignment. If you fall behind, opportunities pass and doors close. But if you move in step with the inner instruction, doors open before you that no one else can open, paths clear that were invisible before, and protection surrounds you even in danger. You will notice, chosen one, that the warning often comes not only in words but in feelings. A heaviness in your spirit when you are about to step into something harmful. A sudden peace when you make the right choice, even if it seems illogical to others. A series of small signs that seem insignificant individually, but when pieced together, form a message that cannot be denied. Pay attention. Keep a record if you must. Write down what you sense, what you dream, what stirs in you, because over time the pattern becomes clearer, and when the larger picture forms, you will realize that nothing was random. Everything was preparing you. The 1% who can hear must also guard against fatigue. The world will try to exhaust you with endless noise, endless obligations, endless temptations. Fatigue dulls discernment. When you are weary, you stop listening closely. You fall into autopilot. You drift with the many instead of walking as the few. That is why rest is not laziness for the chosen one. It is discipline. Silence, solitude, reflection. These are not luxuries. They are necessities. They are how you recharge your ability to hear when others are deafened by constant activity. Protect these moments fiercely, because they are your lifeline. The warning prepares you for change, but change itself is not to be feared. Transformation is disruptive, but it is also creative. The old must end for the new to rise. You, chosen one, are called to be at peace in transition, to walk steadily when the ground shakes, to carry vision when others can see nothing but collapse. The warning sharpens your vision not only for danger, but also for opportunity. While others panic at what falls, you will see what is being born. While others cling to what is dying, you will invest in what is emerging. This is how the 1% survive and thrive, while the 99% stumble in confusion. Remember this always. The warning is not given to burden you, but to free you. It does not come to imprison you in fear, but to empower you with foresight. Fear blinds, but warning enlightens. Fear paralyzes, but warning prepares. Do not confuse the two. The chosen one must walk in clarity, not in panic. Panic belongs to the unprepared. Clarity belongs to the awakened. Chosen one, God's warning is for the 1% who can hear it. Listen closely. The longer you walk with this awareness, the more you will notice how the world tries to dull it. The distractions will not always appear as enemies. Sometimes they appear as comforts, as things that make life easier, softer, more convenient. But ease can be as dangerous as struggle, because it lulls the spirit into sleep. Many will fall not because they faced resistance, but because they stopped resisting. They became so entangled in comfort that they lost the ability to hear anything beyond the hum of their own routine. But you, chosen one, cannot afford to let your spirit sleep. The warning comes to keep you awake when the world wants you to close your eyes. Listening closely is not a passive act, it is active. It requires vigilance, discipline, and intention. The chosen one trains their senses the way a warrior sharpens a blade. Every day you are either strengthening your awareness or weakening it. Every choice shapes your sensitivity. If you give yourself to noise and distraction endlessly, your ability to hear will fade. But if you nurture silence, reflection, and attention, your hearing will sharpen. This is the difference between those who will survive what is coming and those who will collapse. For the storm will not announce itself with clear signs for the masses. It will whisper its approach to the 1% who are attuned. The warning in this season is not limited to one aspect of life. It will reach into your personal decisions, your relationships, your paths of work, your health, your inner world. Many expect warnings only in grand, dramatic events, but the most significant ones often arrive in the smallest of choices. The decision you make in silence today may shape the entire path you walk tomorrow. That is why the chosen one lives attentively, understanding that nothing is insignificant. Every conversation, every thought, every encounter can carry a seed of direction. When you are awake, you see that the universe never wastes moments. Everything has a purpose. But the majority will miss this. They will continue rushing, consuming, reacting, unaware that they are sleepwalking through life. They will laugh at the idea that there is a higher rhythm, that there are signs everywhere, that warnings exist beyond what the eyes can see. They will demand proof, but proof is not what the chosen one is given. You are given resonance instead, the undeniable sense that something is true before it appears in front of you. This is the difference between the 99% and the 1%. The 99% believe only what they see. The 1% know before seeing. This knowing is not arrogance, it is alignment. It comes with humility, because you understand that the knowledge is not from you but through you. You are not the source, you are the vessel. This is why the warning feels so heavy at times. It passes through you because you are trusted to carry it, to guard it, and to act upon it. If you were careless, it would not be given to you. If you were reckless, you would not hear it at all. The very fact that you can hear proves that you are considered ready. Yet readiness is not the end. It is the beginning. Once you hear, you must cultivate courage. For the warning often leads you against the current of the crowd. It tells you to turn left when everyone else runs right. It tells you to stop when everyone else pushes forward. It tells you to wait when others are rushing, or to move when others are paralyzed. These moments test you. Will you follow the inner voice, or will you give in to the noise of the many? The 1% are not chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they act on what they hear. They obey the resonance within them even when it costs them comfort, reputation, or belonging. There will be times when the cost feels high. To follow the warning may mean losing relationships that cannot walk the same path. It may mean stepping away from environments that no longer align. It may mean releasing habits, possessions, or opportunities that seem appealing but carry hidden traps. These are sacrifices, yes, but they are also protections. What you let go of now prevents greater harm later. The chosen one learns to trust this process, to understand that what is removed makes space for what is aligned. The warning does not take without reason. It clears so that something better may arrive. You must also understand that the warning does not only protect you, it prepares you for others. Many will not hear until it is too late. Many will stumble into confusion. And in those moments, they will look for someone who can see clearly. That is when the chosen one steps forward, not to boast of foresight, but to guide with compassion. The clarity you carry is not for yourself alone. It is meant to be shared, to serve, to anchor those who are drowning in fear. That is why the weight feels heavy. It is not only your burden, it is also your calling to be a light for others. The path of the chosen one requires patience. Not every warning makes sense in the moment. Sometimes you will be told to wait without knowing why. Sometimes you will be told to move without seeing the full picture. Trust is essential. You may not understand until later, but when you look back, the pattern becomes undeniable. Every delay, every redirection, every closed door, every sudden shift will reveal its purpose. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. The chosen one walks not by what is seen, but by what is known deep within. The world will soon enter a period where appearances will deceive. What looks strong will prove weak. What looks stable will collapse. What looks harmless will reveal hidden dangers. And what looks small and insignificant will rise in power. Those who see only with their eyes will be lost in confusion. But those who listen closely, who have trained their inner vision, will see through the illusions. You, chosen one, will not be deceived because the resonance within you cannot be tricked. You will feel the truth even when it is hidden. That is your advantage. That is your gift. Remember always, the warning is not meant to frighten you, but to prepare you. Fear locks the spirit, but preparation frees it. When you are prepared, you do not panic when others panic. You do not collapse when others collapse. You remain steady, and in your steadiness, you become a source of strength for many. This is why the warning is given to you, the 1% who can hear. Not for selfish advantage, but for service, for protection, for leadership in times of chaos. Chosen one, you are being refined. Each moment you choose clarity over distraction, alignment over noise, truth over illusion. You grow sharper, and as you sharpen, you step deeper into your calling. The warning is not an interruption to your life. It is your path. It is shaping you into who you were always meant to become. And though the world may never understand, you know within yourself that this is the way you must walk. Chosen one, God's warning is for the 1% who can hear it. Listen closely. There are times in history when the flow of events seems ordinary, predictable, almost slow. people go about their lives, trusting that tomorrow will look like today, that the ground beneath them will remain unchanged. But then there are seasons when time itself accelerates, when change sweeps through like fire across dry fields, when what was stable yesterday collapses overnight. We are now entering such a season. The rhythm is shifting, the world is tilting, and what has been hidden is beginning to surface. The warning has been given to you because you are not meant to be caught off guard. You are not meant to be crushed by surprise. You are meant to be ready. The many will not see the storm until it is above them. They will be consumed by distraction until the moment of shaking arrives. Then fear will take hold, and they will look around for answers, for anchors, for voices that still carry clarity. This is why the chosen one exists. This is why the warning is not for the majority, but for the few. Because it is the few who must stand steady when the many are overwhelmed. And though this calling is weighty, it is also an honor, for you have been trusted with sight that most are denied. The warning is this: do not cling too tightly to what the world promises you. Many things are about to change, and the things people believe will last are among the first to crumble. Power will shift. Systems will falter. False authorities will lose their voice, and people will be left asking how everything could collapse so quickly. But you, chosen one, must already know that anything built on illusion cannot endure. The illusions are coming down, and with them, the false security of those who trusted them. The chosen one does not mourn what collapses. The chosen one looks to what will rise in its place. Listening closely in this time means more than hearing words. It means observing energies, noticing patterns, feeling the undercurrents that guide the flow of life. The universe, God, the unseen design, it communicates not only through speech, but through synchronicities, through alignments, through moments that others call coincidence, but you know are signals. The chosen one pays attention to these signals. When paths open effortlessly, you know it is not by chance. When barriers appear without reason, you know it is not random. The warning speaks through these movements, guiding you toward alignment and away from danger. And so, chosen one, remain alert to what others overlook. What seems small may carry the weight of destiny, and what appears insignificant may hold the key to your path. Do not dismiss the whispers, the nudges, the subtle shifts that guide you, for these are the very threads of guidance woven into your life. When you honor them, you walk in harmony with the unseen design, safe from hidden dangers and aligned with the greater purpose prepared for you.